Are you absolutely sure your favorite fast food joint is safe from total collapse? Because here's the hard truth: some of the biggest names in the industry are barely hanging on in 2025. Exploding ingredient costs, ruthless competition, and a post pandemic shift in eating habits have put these once unstoppable giants into a tailspin. Dining rooms are shutting down, franchise owners are struggling, and the numbers, they're looking uglier by the day. Think your go to burger spot is immune? Don't bet on it. These 8 fast food titans might be next in line to vanish for good. So, if you've got a favorite combo meal, now might be the time to grab it, because 2025 could go down as the biggest fast food bloodbath in modern history. Let's break down the 8 fast food giants on the brink, the brutal financial numbers behind their downfall, the behind the scenes missteps, and the changing consumer habits that could wipe them off the map. 1. Burger King. For decades, Burger King has been the other burger behemoth, always trailing behind McDonald's in the battle for fast food supremacy. But in 2025, coming in second might not just be disappointing, it could be a death sentence. Think Burger King's brand recognition alone will keep it afloat? Think again. Brace yourself for some brutal numbers. According to a QSR magazine report, February 2025, Burger King's same-store sales dropped by a staggering 9% over the past year. Meanwhile, the cost of key ingredients like beef, cheese, and cooking oil has skyrocketed 18%. Labor costs up another 12%. And to make matters worse, customers just aren't willing to pay $5 or $6 for a burger they see as lower quality. It gets worse. Franchise owners are in open revolt. One insider, who asked to stay anonymous, revealed that Burger King's mandatory store upgrades, like fancy soda machines, digital menu boards, and dual-lane drive-thrus, have forced dozens of locations to shut down rather than absorb the crushing costs. Ever notice more and more for lease signs where a Burger King used to be? You're not imagining things. Business Insider reports that nearly 400 locations worldwide shut down in 2024 alone, and closures are accelerating in 2025. Years of uninspired marketing, weird menu experiments, remember that bizarre green Nightmare King burger? And aggressive competition from McDonald's, Wendy's, and trendy fast casual chains like Shake Shack are pounding the final nails into Burger King's coffin. If the king doesn't pull off a major brand overhaul and cost restructure fast, 2025 could be his final year on the throne. 2. Taco Bell. Taco Bell was once a king of fast food mashups. Doritos Locos Tacos, Nacho Freeze, wild, over-the-top creations that kept fans coming back. But in 2025, the Bell is losing steam fast. Sure, it's still a late-night favorite for college students and partygoers, but the numbers tell a different story. In March 2025, Restaurant Business Online revealed that Taco Bell's quarterly same-store sales growth was just 1%. That's a massive drop for a chain that once boasted double-digit surges year after year. Skyrocketing avocado prices have made guacamole-based items more expensive to produce. Supply chain issues have led to shortages of basics like ground beef and tortillas in some locations. Heavy reliance on cheap deals, like the Cravings menu and $5 boxes, worked in the past, but is now cutting deep into profits thanks to inflation and labor costs. One franchise owner even called 2025 the worst time to run a Taco Bell in 20 years. The chain has tried to adapt. Breakfast options? Meh. Eco-friendly packaging? Nice, but not enough. Meanwhile, competitors like Chipotle, Qdoba, and new fast casual Mexican chains are pulling in customers with fresher ingredients and transparent sourcing. Taco Bell risks losing its reputation as the go-to spot for cheap, craveable eats. If they don't overhaul their menu and fix supply chain problems fast, 2025 could be the year many purple and gold locations go dark for good. 3. McDonald's feels untouchable. An empire with over 38,000 locations worldwide, practically synonymous with fast food, but even giants can stumble. And 2025 is proving to be a brutal year. To recover from pandemic-era losses, McDonald's went all in on automation. Robotic fry stations, cashierless counters, hundreds of locations swapping out workers for machines. In theory, it should have boosted profits by cutting labor costs. Instead, it's bleeding money. An April 2025 Business Insider expose revealed the hidden costs of this automation push. Installation, maintenance, and software licensing fees are draining corporate and franchise budgets. Customers aren't happy. Viral posts slam McDonald's for replacing human jobs with robots. A younger, socially conscious generation is ditching the chain for local burger spots or plant-based alternatives that focus on fair wages and sustainability, and then there's the real estate problem. McDonald's owns a staggering amount of property, but leases are up, property taxes are rising, and corporate refuses to loosen its strict franchise requirements, leaving many operators struggling to stay afloat. Loyalty isn't what it used to be, either. Competitors are winning over customers with specialty items, healthier options, and more adventurous flavors. No one expects the golden arches to disappear overnight. But a massive downsizing? Very possible. 2025 could mark the beginning of a McDonald's retreat, one where you wake up and realize your local Mickey D's is gone, replaced by a gas station that ironically sells better coffee. KFC changed fast food forever with its famous buckets of crispy golden fried chicken, but in 2025, the Colonel is in serious trouble. The biggest headlines? Poultry shortages, new import and export tariffs, ongoing avian flu outbreaks, and rising grain prices have crippled KFC's supply chain. And while they've tried to soften the blow with meatless Beyond Fried Chicken, let's be real, that's not what people come to KFC for. The biggest problem? Price, that classic family bucket. In some cities, it now costs over $35, and customers aren't happy. Worse, many say KFC's once famous crispy, savory flavor isn't the same, the result of rushed cooking methods and cost-cutting measures. Meanwhile, Popeyes and Chick-fil-A have taken a massive bite out of KFC's market share. A 2025 QSR study shows KFC's portion of the U.S. fried chicken market has dropped to just 15%, down from 23% in 2020. And international sales? Once KFC's saving grace, China's demand is cooling fast as local brands offer spicier, cheaper, and more flexible menus. Even franchise owners are struggling to keep up. Many are drowning in costly remodel mandates, while parent company Yum Brands focuses on more profitable ventures, like Pizza Hut's comeback push. If KFC can't fix its supply chain mess or reignite customer loyalty, 2025 might be the year the Colonel hangs up his white suit for good. 5. Wendy's. Wendy's made its name with fresh, never frozen beef and a snarky Twitter personality. But in 2025, that sense of humor might not be enough to save them. Leaked financial records from late 2024, analyzed in early 2025, paint a bleak picture. Key Wendy's franchisees are barely scraping by, operating on razor-thin 2 to 3% net margins, a far cry from the 10 to 12% profits of the mid-2010s. Fresh beef is more expensive than ever, cutting deep into profits. Questionable spending decisions like dumping millions into high-tech soda dispensers and rebranding efforts that didn't click. The 2020 breakfast menu launch was a short-term win, but in 2025, the added labor hours and complex prep have become a nightmare. And while Wendy's still wins on social media, all those witty roasts haven't translated into store traffic. Meanwhile, competition is everywhere. Five Guys and Shake Shack are pulling in premium burger lovers. Local smash burger joints are taking over major cities. In suburban America, where drive-through traffic is shrinking, location closures are ramping up, according to a 2025 Bloomberg report. Add in frustrated customers sick of ghost pepper gimmicks and limited-time stunts, and Wendy's future looks shakier than ever. If they don't rethink their strategy fast, your local Wendy's could disappear before the decade's over. 6. Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box has always been the quirky cousin of fast food. Bizarre commercials, late-night munchies, friendly meals, and a menu that somehow includes burgers, tacos, and curly fries. But in 2025, quirkiness isn't enough to stay in business. Financial data from Nation's Restaurant News shows Jack in the Box's net revenue dropped 7% in late 2024, continuing a year-long decline. The biggest culprit? Rising costs. The chain's stronghold is in western states, where higher minimum wages and skyrocketing real estate prices are pushing franchise owners to the brink. Closures are happening at record numbers, and the locations that remain open are struggling with an identity crisis. Is it a burger joint? A taco spot? A stoner food paradise? Even longtime fans aren't sure anymore, and the tech pivot hasn't helped. Jack in the Box launched a new mobile app, but users hate it, complaining about glitches, confusing promotions, and frustrating order errors. Then there's the PR disasters. A viral video of an undercooked chicken sandwich in 2024 shattered trust in the brand. Meanwhile, fast casual competitors like Habit Burger and Smashburger are stealing customers who want better quality. Bottom line, Jack in the Box can't rely on nostalgia or late-night cravings forever. If they don't fix their brand confusion, tech issues, and quality control, that giant clown head might come tumbling down for good. 7. Arby's. For decades, Arby's built an empire on roast beef sandwiches and its signature slogan, "We have the meats." But in 2025, the real question is, does anyone still want them? Roast beef is falling out of fashion. Fewer people are grabbing roast beef sandwiches on the go, and beef inflation has sent prices soaring, up nearly 20% since 2023. That leaves Arby's with two bad options: raise menu prices or shrink portions. They've done both, and neither is working. The bigger problem: bad press. In 2024, a wave of viral social media posts exposed issues with poor customer service and rundown locations. And while die-hard Arby's fans still swear by the brand, younger health-conscious diners aren't biting. Arby's has barely invested in plant-based options, and their value menu gets overshadowed by McDonald's and Wendy's. To make things worse, parent company Inspire Brands seems to have moved on. Instead of investing in Arby's, they're focusing on reviving Buffalo Wild Wings and Dunkin'. According to a leaked memo, some Arby's locations are now the least profitable in the company's portfolio. More than 100 locations closed in late 2024, and 2025 could bring even bigger losses. If things don't turn around fast, Arby's could go from "we have the meats" to "we had the meats." 8. Starbucks. It might seem unthinkable to see Starbucks on this list. After all, it's everywhere, with nearly 35,000 stores worldwide. But don't let its dominance fool you. 2025 is turning into a nightmare year for the coffee giant. Yes, Starbucks still owns the specialty coffee game, but that success is becoming a liability. Rising costs are crushing margins. Milk, coffee beans, and sweeteners have all gotten more expensive. Starbucks has two choices: eat the costs or pass them to customers already paying $7 or $8 for a latte. Neither option is great. Union battles are raging. The push for better wages and working conditions started in 2022-23 but exploded in 2024. Now, strikes and protests are leading to store closures and endless bad press on social media. The food menu flop. Starbucks tried adding more food items to compete with fast food and fast casual chains. But internal leaks in 2025 reveal that Starbucks can't match their variety or pricing. And what about reserve high-end cafes? The ones meant to elevate Starbucks into a luxury experience? They're struggling too. High rent, expensive operations, and weaker than expected foot traffic have made them a money pit instead of a savior. For the first time in 20 years, Starbucks closed more U.S. stores than it opened in 2024, and 2025 is accelerating that trend. Will Starbucks disappear entirely? But industry experts predict a massive wave of closures, a leadership shakeup, and a dramatic shift in how Starbucks operates. The Green Mermaid won't sink overnight, but latte lovers should brace for big changes. The fast food apocalypse of 2025: rising costs, ruthless competition, customers who are ditching legacy brands for cheaper, trendier, or healthier options. These 8 fast food giants are all fighting to stay afloat. You might think brand loyalty is enough to save them. But brand loyalty doesn't pay the bills. If a chain can't evolve fast enough, it won't survive, no matter how famous it is. So next time you crave a burger, a burrito, or a coffee, don't be surprised if your go-to spot is gone. The fast food bloodbath of 2025 is here, and not everyone will make it out alive.